All right. The deal of a man known as Christian Romero to Arsenal is the talk about town. And all of us should be asking ourselves, who is the man, behind this deal and pushing it? And finally, we've gotten to know that it's Gabriel Heinze who is really at the center of pushing this. So welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? And smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, we also have other stories to discuss. There is a story coming in through from his hide known as PSG and Barcelona. We do have a Frankie de Jong story that we are obviously going to be discussing in here for you. So let's continue to subscribe because we are not left with many subscribers to hit the magic number of 30,000 subscribers. And what is that? Obviously, it is all about 34 subscribers left to clinch 30,000 subscribers. So please go ahead, do the needful, and see to it that we really put in this to where we deserve it to be. So guys, continue to subscribe and let's see to it that we hit that magic number of 30,000 subscribers. Lower left bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, the notification bell that will enable you to get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now, I see many say it cannot go through, but let me ask you, why would the club go in for a player whom they cannot pursue and they know that its pursuit is hard? That means by the time Arsenal went in for Christian Romero, they obviously had a very good thought that this deal will obviously happen. That is it. That is Arsenal for you. And I tell you, no club can waste its time to obviously go in for a player when they know they cannot get him. That means there is a way of getting the player, but the club, there might have gone ahead to be certain nitty-gritties that have gone ahead to obviously stop the deal from happening in their favor. Because Arsenal knows it very well that it's hard for Spurs to sell them a player. And Spurs also knows it very well that it's hard for Arsenal to sell them a player. You understand? So, what is happening right now is like there might be confidence from the player that maybe the club told them that if at all they really bring in some amount of money, we will let Christian Romero go and play for you. You understand? Now, this is a man known as Isan Khan. He's an Arsenal reporter at the Daily Mail, right? He has told us that Arsenal are looking to sign a centre-back with Christian Romero, one of the options considered. Romero has a long-standing relationship with Gabriel Heinze, and that's considered a big factor. Tottenham, on the other hand, strongly oppose his move to Arsenal. Now, Tottenham Hotspur, right, are opposing the move. But you are Tottenham Hotspur are delaying. So Tottenham Hotspur are opposing the move, but Arsenal's assistant manager, who goes by the names of Gabriel Heinze, is the man driving this. Now, the relationship that's being talked about between him and Christian Romero, both are proud both share a proud footballing heritage from Argentina, with Heinze serving as an influential figure and compatriot whom Romero deeply respects. And remember, Gabriel Heinze is one of those big names that really used to play for Man United and then Real Madrid. And by the time I think Christian Romero was still a young lad, because if I told he's now 27 years of age, 28, that means by the time Gabriel Heinze played for Man United, those are how many years back? Is it 20? I think this guy was like 10 years old, because I remember Gabriel Heinze, 2004, 2005 there, you understand? So, those are 22 years back. That means this kid was like 6'5", and he saw him represent for Man United and Argentina. Secondly, coaching influence. Heinze's role as a coach has heavily appealed to Romero, reportedly making Arsenal an attractive destination for the centre-back. Obviously, He's a good coach, respected from way back in Argentina until when Arteta told him to come in through and join him. Transfer impact. Romero's strong rapport with Heinze has driven his camp to encourage Arsenal to join the race for his signature. Though a direct transfer between fierce rivals Spurs and Arsenal remains exceptionally difficult to execute. Now, if you remember how Gabriel Heinze was playing, he was a hard player, a hard tackler. And that's what this guy brings on the table. I'm talking about Cristian Romero. That's exactly how Cristian Romero really plays. That's what he brings up on the table. And I tell you, he's a player who can obviously come in through and obviously play very well. He's a very good player. But sometimes he has lapses of really looking stupid. Though, when he's playing for Argentina, he doesn't look like that. He doesn't look like that. You know, he really plays very, 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 very well for the club. Sorry, for the country known as Argentina. And I don't remember him getting a red card for the Argentina national team in any match. But for Spurs, this guy looks like he gets red cards almost every season. And I think Arsenal can look through that and they use it as a yardstick to obviously come in through to sign this player. You understand? Because at Argentina, he doesn't really get those red cards. But at Spurs, he has been getting them like nothing. And last season, he got 2 red cards. 2024, 2025, he never got a red card because he played only 18 games. And I think he was injured. 2023, 2024, he got 0 red. He got 1. So, red cards are written all over him. You understand? And I think Gabriel Heinze emulates him. Cristian Romero emulates Gabriel Heinze, and Gabriel Heinze also loves the lad because Cristian Romero is a Gabriel Heinze. Gabriel Heinze was a man who could really commit fouls like anyhow. Hard tackler, you know, he fights hard. And with Arsenal using set pieces to kill off most of the games they really went ahead to win last season, you know, that we are really trying to be hard for them. Cristian Romero has that attribute. You know, he's a World Cup winner, Copa America winner, Finalissima winner, and so on and so forth. So that speaks volumes to the guy who wants to bring in Cristian Romero. Now, we all know to it that the guy pushing the deal of Cristian Romero to join Arsenal is none other than Gabriel Heinze. And looks like, as most of us are saying it's impossible, there might be a room of it being possible. So let's wait and see how things really pan out. But the main guy pushing this deal is Gabriel Heinze. And it's the Daily Mail reporting. Now, Jacobs Ben has come out and told us that Cristian Romero is interested in joining Arsenal, who have already discussed the potential move for the defender. The interest is genuine. Now, there's certain things you really remember and you laugh. Oh my God. Because Romero just went ahead to obviously leave Spurs when they are playing their decisive game at the end of the season. And he was the captain of Spurs, and he left to go ahead and really see the big derby in Argentina for the clubs that side. River Plate was playing which team? I don't remember. I stand to be corrected, but I know it was River Plate and another big team there in Argentina. He left his team really playing, and it looks like the manager has told us that, I'm talking about, when I talk about the manager, De Zerbi has told us that the player has told him he wants to go. And there is no way he can keep a player who doesn't want to be at the club of Tottenham Hotspur. So, as it stands right now, the club of, Cristian Romero is trying to do things that are really annoying Spurs. And is like, I want to go to our rival, that is Arsenal. And I tell you, Cristian Romero coming in through to play at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, he will score a goal. He will score a goal. And he'll do what Adebayo went ahead to do when he left Arsenal and went ahead and really played for Man City. You remember that goal he scored against Arsenal when he's representing Man City? The distance he ran into Arsenal fans, and I think he was given a penalty. I think Cristian Romero will do that. You understand? Now, Spurs want some good amount of money for this guy. You understand? I've heard of a release clause. Let me check here. I've heard of a release clause in his contract. They are telling us that Christian Romero's father revealed that Tottenham Hotspur defender has a release clause valued between £37.8 million to £53 million. You understand? Reports indicate the valuation structure distinguishes between foreign suitors and domestic league rivals. So, we need to know what this clause is all about. If selling to the English Premier League is £53 million, these are peanuts to the club of Arsenal. Arsenal can afford this amount of money. And what happens if Arsenal puts the money on the table and tells Tottenham Hotspur that we have the money to buy off this player? What happens? That is the big question. What happens when a club known as Arsenal comes on the table and really tables all drops £53 million to trigger the release clause? Will Spurs say no? Now, that is exactly what we are waiting in for. So, for me, as Rokani David on the Rokani Media Football, I'm just waiting to see the developments of this, because it is really heating up. And it's not Arsenal in the mix. Barcelona is there. And for clubs outside, it's £37 million. So, Atletico Madrid is there. Barcelona is there. Now, we are waiting to see whether Arsenal can finally get their man from Spurs. You know? It's very hard to sign a player like that, unless he's a free agent. You know? If Arsenal execute this deal, I'll give Andre Batha and Gabriel Heinze a very big... It will be a 10-finger salute, not a 5-finger, because a 5-finger salute is this. Now, this will be a double salute for Andrea Batha for completing that deal. It will be a double finger salute or a 10-finger salute, I tell you, because it's really hard. But interest is there. As Jacobs Ben tells you, the lad wants to leave for a side known as... The lad wants to leave his high known as Arsenal. Now, we go to Barcelona are increasingly frustrated with Frankie de Jong over the handling of his ongoing knee problem. The club are pushing for surgery after believing conservative treatment has failed, while Frankie de Jong remains determined to avoid an operation. Barcelona also have concerns over the length of his recovery and suspect he managed the injury last season with the World Cup in mind. Hans Flick is now growing impatient and wants the situation resolved quickly. Now, obviously, the club known as Barcelona is very, very, very bitter with Frankie de Jong for what he did during the World Cup. For what he did, that he was like, let me maintain this injury, go to the World Cup and we'll play for my nation. Then after the World Cup, I'll come in and recover. And the worst bit of it all is that he doesn't want to take a surgery. And he's like, I can manage it and see to it that I really get the best out of it, and I'll obviously go on and do the needful. Now, for Barcelona, they are pushing for surgery because the conservative treatment has gone ahead to fail, because I think they used it even last season and it really worked out, but they do believe that it won't work out this time round. So the big question is, why isn't Frankie de Jong accepting this surgery? Why isn't he accepting this surgery? Because I think he needs to admit that he needs to undergo a surgery. There might be a reason as to why he's not or is objecting this, right? If it was positive for him, why could he say no? But I'm smelling something that shows there might be something that is not good, that is getting this young man to really get afraid of a surgery from Barcelona. And what could that be? What could that be? What could that be? To me, I think there is some bad blood between Barcelona and Frankie de Jong that is not allowing him to do that. all he doesn't trust the doctors at Barcelona. But if at all you don't trust doctors at Barcelona, we have other teachers, we have other doctors. I've seen players go all out to other surgeons who are really very much experienced in doing surgeries like those. You understand? So, as it stands right now, the side of Barcelona and Frankie de Jong are at loggerheads. And let's wait and see where this will end. And for Frankie de Jong, I blame him. I think Frankie de Jong would have gone ahead to have a more sounding career at Man United when Erik ten Hag called him to come in through and play in his midfield. United had agreed a fee of 85 million euros with Barcelona to see to it that he came in through to play for the club of Man United, but the player played hardball because he was demanding them 17 million euros, as if when he left, he wouldn't have gone ahead to obviously get that money, you know. But see what the problems are. Rodri is coming in through at the club of Barcelona, and I don't see him getting to the starting 11 because at Barcelona it's well known. If Rodri comes in through, it will be Rodri, Pedri, and Ferran Lopez playing ahead of them. That will be the midfield three of Barcelona, and Frankie de Jong will be a bench player. So, I don't know exactly what is eating him up, but if I'm him, I would have already gone ahead to make a decision that I'm not obviously going to be staying here. Or let me take a surgery and I count this season done. Then I'll prepare for my return. That is it. So I don't know what your thoughts are about Frankie de Jong and Barcelona at loggerheads. Let's go to the deal of another backup player heading to the PSG or French League One. L'Equipe says, talks between PSG and Barcelona are at an advanced stage for Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres himself has reached an agreement with PSG on a 5-year contract. So that means personal terms have gone ahead to be agreed between Ferran Torres and PSG, and now we are waiting to see what really happens. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to also add something big breaking. PSG are closing in on a verbal agreement for Ferran Torres. PSG sent official bid worth 50 million euros package to Barcelona. Talks at final stages. French side see Ferran Torres as an opportunity at the fee, having 1 year left on the contract. Otherwise, expected to cost 70 to 80 million euros. Now, Ferran Torres is a very good player. That is it. And when you look at PSG, looks like the system of the manager of PSG is more effective when they're having a false number 9. And Ousmane Dembele being played as a false number, I don't think you get the best out of him in there for you. Even if it's not the case, and they're going to start Ousmane Dembele as the false number 9. But remember, when they're playing against Arsenal, did they have a rich bench? The bench was not rich at all. Apart from Bradley Barcola, you know, who else did they bring on that was really threatening? So, if you add Ferran Torres, right, you add on Okelechi, then Mika Guts, you know, those three, it's like you've gone ahead to obviously bring in Okelechi as a doorway understudy, as a right forward, Mika Guts as a Kivicha Kvaratskhelia understudy, and Ferran Torres as the understudy for a player known as Ousmane Dembele. That is it. So, as things are really unfolding, PSG are really going to be much more stronger than how they were last season, you know. And that's why you see it that even Arsenal trying to obviously elevate a little bit. In the midfield, they've already gone ahead to elevate. Now, they're waiting to see what is going to be happening on the left forward, because they are now trying to look out for other left forwards in there for you. So, Rokani David is my name here onto the Rokani Media Football. And we call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Gabriel Heinze pushing for Christian Romero to join Arsenal. What do you make about it? Then, your thoughts onto Ferran Torres going to a team known as PSG. 1 year left on his contract, and PSG sees an opportunity of saving close to 30 million euros, because if he had 2 years left on his contract, he would have costed more. All that and more into the comment section below. First video of the day, more videos are coming.